That Sean had gone to some disco somewhere, I think.
I do that. I met some people and just kind of took advantage of being out in Melbourne. And I was pretty.
You copped it the next day, though.
I certainly did. I was pretty new to the whole thing at the time. Even when you were saying there, I was playing through a big sound system and whatnot. Like that professional level was kind of new to me, and then so was the excitement of being in the big smokes doing that. So I guess it got the better of me. And
who can blame you? Gone are the day of the rock stars waking up naked in the football field, right?
Well, we're trying to bring that back.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I remember the road crew gave you a hard time for a bit there.
So, Johnny, you've been on the Gold Coast since '93.
Yeah.
Wow, you know what I was expecting? I was expecting, Johnny, the era. You're in the
late 70s, mid 70s.
That legendary era of Radio Birdman and Hitmen.
Not quite.
I was looking at your whole thing up on Wikipedia.
Oh.
So all the countries you've been in, the tours, the bands, all the musicians.
There are quite a few of them.
And then you come to the sleepy Gold Coast.
Well, I was I had a break from touring for a while there. What was that? Is this me or you?
It was me. Yeah, it was me.
Destroying the joint. I moved to Queensland to be the promoter for Harbour and Frontier and Premier's, their acts. So when you're coming into Queensland, you have to go through me.
Right. So that's a good gig.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And
can I ask you to stop pause you? When you go from being a musician, it's all about you and your personal brand, to step in and be the guy that promotes other things, was that awkward?
No, it wasn't awkward because it started with me back in '83 when the Hitmen broke up. Brad left, Mark had left and started the
Brad Shepherd.
Yeah, they started the Hoodoo Gurus. Yep. I had a really bad car accident on the way to a show, and the next best thing I kind of knew was the ins and outs of getting to a gig, setting up the equipment, running a band, booking the gigs. So I got into band management. So it started with me back then, and grassroots.
Right, so you're already talking to people anyway.
So I used that to my advantage later on, and just brought it back. And I enjoyed promoting. If I liked something, I really get into it and promote it, and ran quite a few venues up here for a while. But going back to Radio Birdman days, I was just only 16, 17 years old, and you couldn't get a gig. Back then it was TMG, Sherbet, those kind of bands were playing around. Radio Birdman, punk, Detroit, rock band. There was the Sex Pistols in England, the Ramones in America, and there's Radio Birdman here in Australia. So we had to create our own gigs, the same way AC/DC used to, find their own gigs and promote their own little halls. We did the same thing. Yeah,
was that North Shore, New South Wales? That band, wasn't that
Inner City?
Inner City, okay.
Radio Birdman was Inner City,
always do
Darlinghurst.
Manly, Mona Vale Hotel and that sort of area. Yeah, it just used to be this surfer buzz on the.
Yeah, there was a huge surfer buzz, but that came after '78.
Right.
Yeah, in the beginning, to get to Melbourne, we supported TMG, the Ted Mullery gang.
True.
Yeah, and for Cole Chisel came into Sydney for one of their first tours and supported Radio Birdman at the Manly Vale Hotel, which I don't think exists anymore. Yeah. So I remember we were just so paranoid we were going to be fucked over by venue management or bands or roadies, so we just did everything ourselves. We had this tiny little PA, this huge auditorium in Manly Vale Hotel, and Cole Chisel had set up a 60-can light show, this huge double, I think it was called a double 40,
four-way.
Double four-way.
Yeah, those big heavy.
Three-way.
Yeah, I know what you mean, mate.
One of those with road crew, and they said, you can use our PA, and we kind of looked at each other and said...
And that one light.
Yeah.
Go.
And we thought, no, these guys are trying to fuck us over. We're just so paranoid. No, you use your gear, we'll use our gear, and we just brought the one column PA and put it on each side, and we just turned the house light on, like the little movie theatre light on, and we were fine. We had a mic in front of the kick drum, mic overhanging the snare. Nobody danced or carried on in front of Cole Chisel, but when Radio Birdman came on, it was a blitzkrieg.
Wow.
It was crazy. And the sound desk was in front of the stage. It was like only four channels. Like the power of the band.
Right.
Really.
6
I mean,
metre
work
cable.
it out. Freaking hell, like the power, the energy, the kinetic feeling in the audience. It was just, I've never seen anything like that
Right.
before.
It matched
ever.
the city, perhaps.
Yeah.
It matched the people in the city at the time.
A new breed. There was a new race starting out, in Australia. The godfathers of punk in Australia, Radio Birdman, yeah.
Wow. I remember being 16 and getting into Rage. Remember when Rage came on TV in Brisbane, where I grew up? And it was all about Radio Birdman. It was like every time I turned on Rage, maybe I was 14 even. And to me, I'd never even heard of them. It was like my sister didn't get into it or something. But everyone loved Radio Birdman. Just all these live clips, but it was...
There's one clip,
Just
this idiot with the white suit.
Yeah.
There's me.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was me in the white suit.
I want to look that up and write.
New race, yeah. I used to go and hire Mark Holden's tuxedo from King Street in Sydney, and back then we had the paper license, and he took a photocopy of it when not Mark, but the formal hire place, and I didn't take him back. I haven't had that conversation with him yet, but he knows about it, that I was the one that stole his white tux. Same one he used to wear.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Mark Holden.
Yeah, go figure that out.
Oh, my God.
Take that, Mark.
But did you get that feeling like when I sort of gave up the original band thing, I left Sydney and went back to the Gold Coast? Surely there was a time where you went, man, this place is slow. Or like these I suppose you still had your connections into the big world, but...
Yeah, no, look, it was slow, but I had my young boy, Julian, who was suffering from asthma, and we used to come up here all the time.
Okay.
We loved visiting up here, and whenever we were up here, his asthma would go away.
Right, so it was like a relief.
It was a relief for us that we had a really nice place, in suburbia, Ashmore. So it was great. I had a young family, I had 2 kids, and a really good relationship at the time. I was enjoying getting into the sports. My kids were 5 and 8, so I was really, kids at that age, Moggy, how beautiful are they? Oh, yeah. How great is it sort of going through that whole process of raising a kid at that age?
Right.
And, the sports, my kids were into sports and what have you. So,
But did you have this is what I was saying before, I was
I became
expecting...
a coach.
Did you?
Excellent.
Yeah.
For what?
Oh, well, netball.
Oh, really?
I had to, because if I wasn't the netball coach, she wouldn't have played netball. I became the basketball coach.
What was it? What was her
Sarah?
position?
She was wing defence. Is that WD?
Okay, wing defence. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a tough game
and,
to watch,
and
mate.
I found a way of getting my son, Julian, who was a really good basketball player, to play netball.
Oh, really?
I whacked a bib on him and whacked him a goal shooter, and we won the grand final.
Well, that's how Sean, went from basketball to being a musician because of, don't know if you want to tell that story, but...
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, with how you were saying you were the coach for Julian, Moggy's son Phoenix now plays basketball like I used to. I was on my way to playing professionally, I guess you'd say. And yeah, obviously I'm a musician now, but your 11-year-old boy's playing basketball, and I'm in the stands just going, no, I'm going to be coached. And it's eventually going to happen. It's about to happen. I'm talking to the parents, and they're like, I did a very quick coaching session with them last Thursday, and
Oh, great!
it's the only way they're going to start winning games. So it's just going to have to be done. Yeah,
just do it, man.
When you scream from the sidelines, does it have a bit of rock and roll to it?
Oh, yeah.
Come on!
Get those rebounds! Shoot goal!
Yeah.
Zone defense, boys. What are you doing? We used to collect. My daughter was the manager of the team. She was a young one, but she used to collect $2 off everybody, and at the end of the year we had a party and gave every kid a trophy.
Right.
That was soccer team. That was for the soccer team, actually. Yeah.
But what I'm getting at, you came from a very punk. So everyone, you're the people who, your fans.
Yeah.
Do they give you the feeling of when you finally did get a little young family, and next minute you're the netball coach? Was that? You know what I'm saying?
No, nobody knew what I was doing up here. No, fans didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was the punk.
right.
I was still the hardcore punk rocker, you know, who just disappeared for a few years.
Because it was the first punk rock.
Yeah, we were.
I want you to know that, like, it was the first era. That's why you were living the thing that all the kids now are
enjoying.
Well, trying to emulate. You know what I'm saying? They'll never do it. They will, but you guys were in that actual thing.
Yeah, I was lucky to be. The way that Radio Birdman connection happened is I was in a band playing Bachman and Turner Overdrive, Doobie Brothers, Ted Nugent covers, and we were booked to play at a high school in Northmead, and I had just finished playing for South Sydney Rugby League, and Jersey Flegg, and I hurt my knee and I couldn't stand up, so we had to find a replacement singer. So we got a guy named Steve Jones, who's the brother of a guy called Chris Jones, who was in a band, used to be in a band called TV Jones with Dennis Tech from Radio Birdman. And they came side stage and checked us out. We were playing all these great songs, Stones covers, and they were just dancing and carrying on. And Dennis sort of came onto the stage in the middle of a song and dove into the kids, off the stage. Nobody caught him. He fell flat on his face. And later on, I went on a cruise on the Fair Star with the football team and came back, and Chris had left the Jackals and joined Radio Birdman. So they pinched him out of my school band.
Just like that.
Just like that, yeah. So, I mean, you know, it was interesting that, you know, how it all started, you know, just seeing it all evolve and how it just created a movement, you know, like this. People wanted to, you know, associate themselves with some energy, some powerful things were happening in the 70s, and they found Radio Birdman to be a release, a good way to get out and just say, fuck you all, you know, we're going to be doing this. This is new. This is the way we went ahead. And Birdman, you know, just wrote some classic songs, some incredible rock and roll songs, you know, that people could hook onto, and that's what it's all about. It's all about the music. You know, but they look kind of weird as well. You know?
Yeah.
They look kind of weird as well. Rob had long blonde hair down to his hips.
And those eyes.
And he used to wear this mascara that used to run. Like, you know, when you sweat and it just runs down your face. Yeah. I used to wear these pink gloves. And they did whenever they used to play the Ballad of Dwight Fry, Alice Cooper song, he had a skull and he had lamb's brains in there with blood, and he kind of like put it in his mouth and he'd get blood all over him and stuff, you know. And Dennis would sit on his back during the solo, and you'd never seen anything like that before, you know. Right. You know, it's either how's that, or you go to Radio Birdman. It's going to be a new race. The kids are going to start it up. All going to mutate. Kids are saying, yeah, hop. Yeah, hop. Really going to punch you out. Yeah, hop. I know what gig I'd rather be at.
Yeah.
As a 16-year-old.
Exactly.
The one where they're eating brains. Clearly.
Yeah, that one. With blood all over the singer's face. I remember meeting Rob for the first time, and I said, I was just in awe of him. I was just like, just blown away. I didn't know what to say to him. And I said, I really like your band. You guys are better than the Rolling Stones.
Didn't know what to say.
No.
What do you say?
Yeah.
And Rob, in his nice little sort of laid back manner, said, "Thank you."
Excellent. I did that once to Tim. Favourite band of all time, UMI. Tim Rogers. Yeah, and I was lugging. They were in Salinas this one night.
Rogers by name, Rogers by nature, as far as I know.
Roger.
And I was lugging out the gear. I did a bit of it in about '97. Lock and Load company in Sydney. Anyway, and here's Tim in the green room sort of thing at Salinas, and I'm lugging out crap. I'm like, Tim, mate, all I do is play your songs, and I actually got teary. And he goes, I'll never forget. He goes, stop that! Like
with an accent.
Yeah, with Monty Python.
Oh, right.
Stop that! And then he disappeared, and I went, you stupid idiot! Like, I was actually teary, for, you know. And he gave me a pick. I've still got it.
Oh,
he chewed it. He was chewing it, actually.
Yeah.
He came back out of the room. Yeah. Love it.
Oh, Salinas was a great venue back then too.
Yeah. What is that still open?
No, we played there with
It's available.
Yeah?
We played there 2013 with Melody Black, Sydney Bandit,
Yep.
then Lily.
What's his name?
John